Well, I forgot to take my saffron today. It is not good. It's not good for me to forget to take my saffron. Because that stuff has pharmaceutical level effect on me, let me tell you. And I feel the stuff. Again, little tremors of the stuff that I started taking the saffron for. Now that I'm not taking the saffron. It's not good. But I figure I better take all my other healthy stuff here. It's past 2 o'clock already. So I better take all my other healthy stuff. Because that'll help. And then we'll just saffron it up tomorrow. You know what I mean?
You know what my pet peeve is in life? And I think that anybody who's an outgoing, storytellery type of person like I am is bound and is passionate, is bound to have had this experience. So, I mean, and if you haven't, God bless you. I'll follow your podcast or whatever, right? You know what I'm talking about? Baby, do you ever make an impassioned plea about something, or you like state your case about something, or you like, you get really into it and you make it's not right, it shouldn't be like this, or you're like, or you say you're like, well, I'll never, man, I tell ya, and you either didn't know what you're talking about, like just full on, like took a shot and the ball's in the air and it doesn't even like hit the rim or whatever, just swing and a miss, fall down, miss the ball, or you either don't know what you're talking about, or you talk a bunch of smack and you can't talk back. It's the worst. It's the worst. Anyway, it happens. It happens to human beings. Life is humiliating sometimes, and it's also awesome, soar with the eagles sometimes. But yeah. Okay. So my devotional time today is centered around Hebrews 5:8 that says about Jesus, though he were a son, yet he learned obedience through the things that he suffered. That's talking about Gethsemane. That's talking about Jesus suffering and dying on the cross. And having learned obedience through the things that he suffered, he's made our great high priest. So what God was bringing out of that is that Father caused the Lord Jesus to suffer, and so caused him to graduate to the position of the great high priest. And so this idea of God bringing suffering to create obedience, to teach us something spiritually where we can graduate, like Job was living a blessed life. God takes it all away because he needed to teach Job something. Job, you're man, I'm God. You may not always understand what I'm doing, but you need to fear me. And you need to understand, that I'm so far above you. My purposes are so high above yours. And that I have my reasons for everything, even the things that you don't understand. It's not all about you sinned and now bad things happen. You did righteous and now good things happen. That is not the whole story. I'm God. I got way bigger fish to fry than you, Job. And so fear me, respect that, right? And then God gave Job double of all that he had before. It's sort of the pain, the suffering, it's suffering with a mission, right? to accomplish something. And so I was looking at, my sense of struggle with my job. And what is God trying to accomplish through me with this? And so I was just life applicationing. So what's God trying to do here? So, and then I wrote on my work glove, what's God trying to teach? Be honest. A, right? I don't know if you can see the A. Let's see if we can get that. Okay, A, my relationship with authority, right? The centurion said to the Lord Jesus, I'm a man who understands authority. I am under authority. And I need to honor that and not be rebellious and all this stuff. B, I'm just going to leave the other figure out there because you see. B, boundaries. Now, there's boundaries even with that authority. Your boss can tell you to do something that he doesn't have the authority to tell you. And that's a thing. But boundaries in a whole bunch of areas. Boundaries with a whole bunch of things that make me a good worker or a poor worker. Will I take the time to prepare for my work properly the day before my work week starts? Will I have boundaries that allow me to do that? Will I place boundaries that allow me to get a good night's sleep at night so I can be a good worker in the morning? You know what I mean? And of course, every long conversation we have is worth it. But there's a place where I need to just say, lady, I gotta sleep, right? And that's with you. And so it's a hard thing to say, but it's true, right? And there's all sorts of boundaries. So boundary lessons I'm learning. Now C, I got C and D, right? And the reason is that I eventually went A, B, D, because now what does the D stand for? What have I missed here? But anyway, the C is between the B and the D, and the D is diligence. That's what it is. So sometimes it's just being a plain old, you need to confront your lazy self, right? It's like, did you work as hard as you could work today? Did you put that diligence in? Did you put that work ethic in? I'd like to deceive myself and say that I'm always just burning it down with my work ethic, but I'm not. God knows, God sees. What's the point of lying to myself? So, and the C is complaining. And the reason that C is between the two of them is that between boundaries and diligence, if I take care of those two, I'll take care of the complaining. Because a lot of things that I complain about are areas where I just need to have a solid boundary and shut my mouth. I need to say what I need to say, I'm not okay with this, or this is what I'm going to do, and quit complaining about it. And some of the things that I complain about, I just need to shut my mouth and get my tail to work. I need to get at it, get the work done. I'm complaining rather than shuffling or whatever it is. And then you see what I'm doing in real time here. Initiative. That's what it is. I need to make sure that I'm taking initiative. It's like, well, nobody helped me go do that. Well, do you really need them to? Get your butt going and take the initiative to take that next step. To read that manual, to figure it out. Got some extra time, you can go figure out a work thing, or you're gonna sit in the lunchroom and do C, complaining, right? So this is the thing that Dan taught me about making a rosary. So as I'm going through my day, I can see my glove. God, help me with my relationship with authority. Help me to put boundaries where they need to be. Help me not to be complaining. Help me to be diligent. And help me to take initiative in my job. And so, And so, just as the author of our salvation was made perfect, was made mature through suffering, and yet on the other side of that suffering was his high priesthood, the things that I'm having struggle with, that I feel like I'm having a hard time with right now in my job, that suffering is being used to teach me obedience, and these are areas that I know I need to graduate in. So that was my devos for today, and that's my glove has those letters to remind me to pray. Well, baby, I got another bit of a video made for you. I love you, and I hope you have a good night.